Yo, 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 it's time for another Boom Shakalaka Beer Time video, coming to you live and slightly recorded from the balcony in Houston, Texas. West Side! No. So check it out, y'all. Time for a malt liquor video, and most of you know that I normally intro my videos with having some music, you know, kind of to bring in the video and music to listen to during the drinks, just because I like music. But today I'm gonna read you some music, and we're gonna have a little lesson on what's going on in the world and how music relates to that, and the connection between pop music and the state of the world with all its corruption, the politics, the extraction of the middle class, the extraction of wealth from the people, the gaining of power of corporations, the perpetuation of racism by the media, and a number of other things, and how music relates to that, and how your participation can make a difference. Let's open up a Mickey's Malt Liquor. It's all sweaty. It's wet, slippery. Label out, malt liquor. Man, that's ice cold. Ooh. Turn my fridge down a little bit. So yeah, I told you guys in a video a while back I was going to discuss music and do a little lyrical analysis on two different styles of music, one of which is pretty popular in society and one of them that's not, and we're going to try to figure out why those variations exist. Now, first of all, most of you know that I am not, or that I am, a progressive rock and metal enthusiast, and we'll go a little bit into the reasons for that. They should make themselves obvious as I proceed with this lesson. And some of you also may know that I abhor and despise most pop music as it exists today. Now, if you go back and listen to some of the classics of the 80s, you know, even the 70s, there's some great songs back then. You know, the mainstream that was played on the radio back in the 70s and 80s, we look back today as timeless classics. They were fun, they were full of joy, they made people feel good, they usually told a good story, and we listen to those today, if they should come on, and oddly enough, we know every word. It all comes back to us, you know, brings back those good memories. Malt liquor, label out. And I want you guys to give some thought to that as this lesson proceeds. I'll try to keep it short and sweet, about as long as it takes me to drink this, about 10 minutes, 12 minutes, 15. So I'm going to read some lyrics, and I'm not going to read them all. Some of these songs are kind of long, but I will read enough to give you some comparison. The first lyrics I'm going to read are from popular music. In fact, this guy can be considered top of the, you know, top tier artist. He recently did something that was quite embarrassing for himself, but yet all his fans thinks it was just wonderful, you know, and we're just like, wow, dude, that was like total blasphemy. Most people think this guy is just the shiznit, right? Bee's knees. So we're going to read some of his lyrics from one of his popular songs. And if you know who he is, that's great. If not, we'll reveal that shortly thereafter. Yeah, I'm out that Brooklyn. Now I'm down in Tribeca, right next to De Niro, but I'll be hood forever. I'm the new Sinatra, and since I made it here, I can make it anywhere. Yeah, they love me everywhere. I used to cop in Harlem. All of my Dominicanos right there up on Broadway. Pull me back to that McDonald's. Took it to my stash box, 560 State Street. Catch me in the kitchen like a Simmons whipping pastries. Cruising down 8th Street, off-white Lexus. Driving so slow, but BK is from Texas. Me in that Bed-Stuy, home of that boy Biggie. Now I live on Billboard. I brought my boys with me. Say what up to Tai Tai, still sipping Mai Tais. Sitting courtside, Knicks and Nets give me high five. Nigga, I be spiked out. I could trip a referee. Tell by my attitude that I'm mostly from in New York, concrete jungle, where dreams are made of. There's nothing you can't do. Now you're in New York. These streets will make you feel brand new. Big lights will inspire you. Let's hear it for New York, New York, New York. Okay. Definitely not Broadway, right? He's trying to say that he's in New York and that he's, you know, big pimping in New York, right? Malt liquor. Okay, we get it, but why the broken English? I mean, I really can't tell what he's saying. He's just kind of like rambling. In fact, in hip hop, most of the style kind of comes off that way. The original art form was a freestyle in which it was ad-libbed. And that's how hip hop kind of came to be. And it still reads that way. I mean, it comes off that way. I'm not sure they really sit down and write it on paper like that. If so, the guy's got barely a 3rd grade education. If anybody knows Jay-Z, that's some of his shit right there. Catch me at the X with an OG at the Yankee game. Shit, I made the Yankee hat more famous than a Yankee can. Really, dude? You have that much ego? This guy's got so much fucking ego, man. Ego's a big problem in society, and it's a big problem with personality disorders. The me first mentality is kind of fucking up the world. And this kind of music perpetuates that. I also don't like hip hop because of the way it perpetuates violence against women. It encourages the use of drugs. It encourages racism and violence. Malt liquor. Perpetuates the thug life. He talks about, you should know I bleed blue, but I ain't a Crip though. But I got a gang of niggas walking with my clique though. Okay, really? This is Jay-Z. This guy is put on a pedestal by all the mainstream media. I mean, this guy can get a gig at the Super Bowl or any large-scale event in front of millions of Americans. This guy is put on a pedestal as the next big thing, or like some, you know, so on the flip side of that, it's pretty depressing. I might not do another malt liquor drink. Malt liquor, let it out. We become what we worship, or we become what we admire. if the world is heading in that direction, in fact, it is heading in that direction, and we can see the impacts of that. We'll go into that. I was just saying about the corruption and the violence and the racism. And it's 2015. We should be like moving forward. Racism should be a thing of the past. Poor people should be getting help, education. Hungry people should be getting fed. But meanwhile, the 1%, corporations, are stealing money from underneath our noses. Yours too. And yet you don't care because you think this guy Jay-Z is the shit. There's evil forces at work in the world, folks. And the first step is to dumb down society. In fact, if you go back in history, the way the media dumbed down the German population prior to World War II and convinced them that Jews were evil or Jews were a lesser people, allowed them to commit the atrocities they did. The same thing's happening underneath our noses right now. You know, the American people are an easier target if we're divided, while the powers that be, corporations, governments, mostly corporations now. I don't know if you know about the new PTT, the Pacific Trade Act, whatever, allows basically corporations to call the shots. If a government's policy gets in the way of a corporation's profit, they can sue the government. Think about that for a second. Now, let's go to progressive metal, my favorite style of music that speaks to my heart, and that I've never changed my style of what I like since the 70s and the 80s. I did not allow the radio or the media to change my perception of what was popular and what was cool. In fact, what was popular and what was cool was never something that I really gave two fucks about, right? So anyway, this band changed my life for the better back in 1992. And they're at the leading cusp of, just like Jay-Z is, you know, top tier in his genre. This band is top tier in their genre. In fact, they almost kind of resurrected and created the genre in the early 90s, which perpetuates in a lot of bands today. There's a lot of underground. That's just the thing. It's underground for a reason. It's kept there because of genius like this. Just let me catch my breath. I've heard the promises. I've seen the mistakes. I've had my fair share of tough breaks. I need a new voice, a new law, a new way. Take the time, reevaluate. It's time to pick up the pieces, go back to square one. I think it's time for a change. There is something that I feel, to be something that is real. I feel the heat within my mind and craft new changes with my eyes. Giving freely, wandering promises, a place with decisions I'll fashion. I won't waste another breath. You can feel the waves coming on. It's time to take the time. Let them destroy you or carry you on. It's time to take the time. You're fighting the weight of the world, but no one can save you this time. Close your eyes. You can find all you need in your mind. Isn't that beautiful? It's like poetry, right? But yeah, this is metal. People like mock, they think metal is all like, oh, it's a bunch of Satan worshiping hippies, right? Dude, metal has changed. It's become the antithesis of pop music today. In fact, a lot of the most beautiful art and musicianship exists within the progressive and rock and hard rock and metal scene today. They play instruments, they do it for nothing most often. They play gigs for free. They work for peanuts, only to express their art. It is about the art. I mean, this is art, man. The unbroken spirit, obscured and disquiet. finds clearness this trial demands, and at the end of this day sighs in anxious relief, for the fortune lies still in his hands. If there's a pensive fear, a wasted year, a man must learn to cope. If his obsession's real, suppression that he feels must turn to hope. Why is Jay-Z's music so popular? Because when I listen to music, it's about the message. And this shit inspires me. A band called Dream Theater. I wear the frickin' mark, man, because they changed my life. And to say that nobody knows who this band is, I bet most of you watching this video from the malt liquor community don't have a clue. Malt liquor. But if you were going to have someone tell you a story and to be an inspiration to society, who would you rather it be? Jay-Z with his thug life, promoting all ego, I'm all this, I'm all that, check me out, I'm special. Or another artist who's talking about an inner self-evaluation and making yourself better. So just give that some thought, man, and recognize the forces that be. The reason this stuff's being forced down your throat, like the Jay-Z and the Nicki Minaj and Miley Cyrus, what a joke whore that she is that really healthy for our young children? Do you want your daughter growing up with Miley Cyrus as a role model? Do you really want to even have a world for your grandchildren? This world is being extracted from underneath our noses, folks. And look at the big picture. That's all I'm asking you to do. Every day, when you watch the news, or you see the world around you, and you wonder what the fuck's going on, and the information you receive, there is evil forces at work to manipulate your mind. And this whole perpetuation and being forced, this whole pop music thing, I'm not racist, because I'm racist against behavior. If you act like a dumbass, I'm gonna call you a dumbass, right? And so, a lot of you participate in a culture that you have no idea what it's about. You jump on the hip-hop bandwagon like you've been there and you're from the hood, and this is great, and it makes you feel a little gangster and all that. You know, and if you're a middle-class white kid, dude, that music's not for you. In fact, a lot of it is talking about you and against you, the white devils. And so, anyway, I just want you, the viewer, the American public, the malt liquor drinker, the craft brew snob, the beef jerky. I told you guys that in one of my other videos that Mickey's and beef jerky go great together. So we're gonna do that as we wrap this up. But next time you mock metal, I mean, you have to, just like with any music, hip-hop or whatever, pop, you have to carefully select your artist. Listen to the message. How much of an artist are they really? How many popular singers do we know never wrote their own songs? All they are is a face, a pretty face to put on stage. auto-tune changed everything, man. They could put a bunch of yahoos up on stage, not a lick of talent. Meanwhile, there's guys playing in the club down the street, practice their instrument day in, day out, 8, 9, 10, 12 hours a day, so they can make gas money to get back home from the gig. That can read music, write lyrics, make it an art form. They care. They give a shit about the music they do. These guys are just churning out an industry. Pop music is nothing more than an industry, just like mainstream news. It's there to dumb you down to what's really going on in the big picture. I could take you guys so far down a rabbit hole, man. That's not the purpose of this video. It's just, there's so much information out there about what's really going on. And I encourage you to seek that information out. In upcoming videos, I will provide you some resources for that type of knowledge acquisition, if you like. Some of the sources of information that I depend on. In fact, I'll give you one right now. metalmotivation.com. This guy, CJ, right here in Texas, he's a guidance counselor, therapist, kick-ass metal guitar player. And he brings some teachings to how to teach yourself how to get out of your own way, make yourself a better person. You know, basically whatever you do, don't suck. Very inspirational messages, and really admire that dude, man. His shit's come a long way. Didn't even graduate high school. He's got a great channel. In fact, he's building an empire off his message. And so, again, read the label of that shit you're listening to, because it's fucking your brain up, or fixing your brain, focusing you on the right things or focusing you on the wrong things. Subconsciously, you don't listen to Nicki Minaj or fucking whatever music. I can't even name some of these guys. I don't listen to them enough. So, Jay-Z, whatever. You think you're so gangster, dude. Why is that so badass? Why is not being a stand-up citizen, being a mentor to a homeless person, being a contributor to the charity, an artist, supporting something, why is that not glorified in today's society? Instead it's take, 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 instead of give, give, give. You know, take, take, take is being glorified. And there's a reason for that, folks. You're being programmed by these same forces that are taking your money out of your paycheck. This Obamacare thing, dude, fucking crazy, dude. I can't afford health insurance anymore. Crazy. That was not a problem 8 years ago. That one lyric from another band. We'll see that minorities get their rights. I'll leave you dying in the streets. So yeah, just be aware. I'm asking you to think. Critically think about the information you receive from the media, and this alleged pop music you listen to. Dig down, man. Find something else. Read the messages. If you hear a song you like, download the lyrics. When it's something you agree with, fucking rock it out, man. Shake your booty, whatever you want to do. I know there's some good rap out there too. The only rap I acknowledge anymore is the Beastie Boys. And that shit was back in the 80s, bro. And that was true art form shit, man. That was real art form. I mean, I know there's some other bands too, like, geez, Digital Underground was freaking hilarious. I love those guys. But that was just fun music, you know, party music. The shit nowadays is all egocentric, you know, sticking dildos up your asses, all about how much money I make, how much malt liquor I drink, malt liquor. The swill, right on point, right there. Just as it's getting hot. It's hot down here in Texas, man. It fucking blows. Moving to fucking Colorado and Oregon. Gonna build me a log cabin in the mountains. Got me a couple of AKs. Build a couple turrets out front. Boom, 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 boom. Let them come. Come and take it, bitches. That shit's coming, man. The U.S. is no longer the #1 country to live in. I don't know if you knew that. Your alleged freedoms are an illusion. It's all going to come to a climactic collapse very soon. Chinese and Russians, dude, or, I mean, this is another opinion, but our president is a fucking Trojan horse, man. No Dorf foam. Is that my first belch of the whole video? It's pretty good. I'm sure there'll be more later. I've got another one of these I'll enjoy later. Cooking some chicken tonight. Anyway, think about what you're absorbing. That's all. It's the message of this video. And on that note, boom shakalaka, THX Inc. Beer Time Video, out.